Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are in an absolute shit show, aren't we? Wow, that was an absolute, yeah, words I can barely think. Word that we were useless, absolutely red raw, useless. About as useful as I would say a dried marker on a whiteboard. Just absolutely shocking. First off, apologies that I haven't gotten around to doing a video for the channel. I only managed to do it now between work and other things. After watching the game last night, I kind of just wanted time to decompress and just take it all in, kind of gather a bit more info, listen to a few more opinions, a few more Spurs channel hosts, just to see what their thoughts on the game were. But oh, boys and girls, lads, lassies, we were useless. We were the antithesis of useless last night against Arsenal. Few things I'm going to touch on in this video. Okay, I'm not going to be like one of my usual rambling sessions. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more concise. So apologies in advance if I go on a bit of a tangent. First half, team selection looked fine on paper. Wouldn't I personally wouldn't have gone with the back three. I would have gone probably even with a back five, put a 5-3-2 just to make it harder for Arsenal. First minute or two, we looked okay. There's one positive that I can think of, and that was the Ven sliding tackle. The rest of it, he was shit. He was just red raw useless. He was chronic. Um, Trying to think again. First goal we conceded was shocking, just poor overall. We got back into the game with Colin Moani, albeit thanks to Declan Rice, for making a blunder. How ironic it was that he was the fellow getting interviewed saying about, we need to switch on and we need to kick on and, kill the games off and stuff, and then he ended up gifting us a goal. So that was irony there, I suppose. But then from then on, at the minute the second half started, we just never got going. Arsenal dominated us, attack, midfield, defence, goalkeeping. Raya was ridiculously good. He made that one brilliant save in the later parts of the second half against from Richarlison's clever little flick. He was very good, but we didn't really test him too much either. I thought, in terms of if there's any positives to take, Dragosin had a good first half, shocking second half, and the only other positive that I can think of was that it wasn't 6 or 7. Other than that, it was diabolical, absolutely diabolical. I'm going to touch on two things now. First off, we're going to touch on the manager. So Tudor, big game for him to come into, obviously enough, but he seems like a big character. It looks like the players could not give a shit about him. I'm not sure if you've seen it. If not, look at it. Van de Ven again, just choosing to act like he's deaf, choosing to act looking like he's spaced out of his wits or like he doesn't even understand what Tudor is saying. You can see it from the video. It's been online since yesterday, so I would encourage any Spurs fan to go and see it. Um, for the reason of what I'm about to say, that Van Ven he doesn't want to be here. He's gone. He's gone. His head is Anfield. His head is Barcelona. His head is Munich. It's in Madrid. His head is nowhere near Tottenham at this moment in time. He wants to go. It's as clear as day. He looked at Tudor yesterday, and it's almost like he's like, so like what? It's like he couldn't cop on. He had not like Mickey comes across as a very well educated person and a very kind of even Angela said, a very coachable person. Right, he can be coachable when he wants to be, apparently. But yesterday, when Tudor was telling him push up, press, get up higher on the pitch, Mickey was just away doing his own thing. That's our captain. That's well, our vice captain. Our main captain is off fucking probably having some sangrias or something. Having because he got himself suspended for 4 games, which we're losing him now for the next 3 games going as well. as well as yesterday's game. So yeah, I don't know what has happened with Mickey, but he personally I strip him of the captaincy and drop him. I honestly don't care. I think you need it. I think Tudor will probably do something like that because he comes across as like the Croatian Conte, really. Like he comes across as a lad you don't want to get on the wrong side of, which is brilliant because all the Spurs players need to kick up the arse. Um, in that sense. So yeah, I think Mickey just and even his post match interview, I watched the first couple of minutes of it and I was like, right, God, he didn't. It was not. It was nothing good about it. He was red raw useless. But he summed up Tottenham yesterday. Like I'm not putting it all on him. As a whole performance from the team wise, they were collectively all useless. But him being our captain, our only real first team centre half, and being one of the senior lads there, you know, Frank said that he was part of the leadership team yesterday. He showed exactly not what he showed us exactly what a leader should be. Not at all commanding in the box, not at all leading by example. Yes, he did. I will say he did. For the first 2 minutes, he came out and did a savage tackle, cleared the ball up. That was his best highlight. That was it. I don't have any time for players who cannot put their ego aside and think that they're bigger than the club. And unfortunately, Mickey is exuding those traits. He's not the only one by a big stretch, but from yesterday's game, it looked like it, which is really sad to say and really sad to see. Um, but look, hopefully it's not repeated. But if it does, then Tudor's going to have to deal with it. Next up as well, so that was with Tudor dealing with that, trying to deal with Mickey's lack of urgency, but also his lack of tactics is a bit worrying as well. He stayed kind of like what Ange done, and he stayed with the system. That's worrying. No problem going through 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2 or even 5-3-2 or 3-4-3 against some of the smaller teams in the league, but not against Arsenal, not against your. If we go to there like to Chelsea or to Liverpool, we're gonna get rinsed, washed, repeat. We will get wiped the floor of. So that was another worrying thing that I'd seen from Tudor that he didn't really change too much, any of his tactics. He's kept the formation, and that was it. So that's a bit worrying. Next up, then I suppose the main concern was the players. It's needless to say that we are in a relegation battle. I think every Spurs channel, if you look at them now and you click onto any video, we're talking about championship football because I think the wind is in the sails of West Ham and Forest. Forest put in a brilliant performance yesterday against Liverpool. Just they were so hard done by VAR. It was the right decision, but they were just really hard done by with VAR in that sense. Um, Speaking of VAR, slight tangent. Don't know how on God's green earth Muani's second goal is not given. Gabriel looks like he's been shot in the back and that his head's gotten whiplash off of going off of a roller coaster. And you think that Muani absolutely just broke his back with the nut. Did he shove him? Yeah, he did. I concede with that. But how VAR didn't intervene then when, if memory serves me right, the opposite happened us against Liverpool and it was a foul against us. Make that make sense. The officials yesterday had a day to forget also, but that didn't lose us the game. What lost Spurs the game was the players. Tactics as well obviously play a factor, but the players lost that. The players just did not try. They did not try. They did not care. Palinia, I would say, and to his credit, Basuma as well. I actually thought Basuma had a okay second half. He seemed to be a little bit more on the ball, a little bit more of a kind of putting in a bit of tackles here and there. And Pellini obviously put in one really good tackle in the second half, but he's playing centre half. So again, that comes down to Tudor's tactics. Pellini should be in the middle of the park. You know, that's his best position. He's our best player there. We don't have a player in the middle of the park that can do that, bar him. But then we're short on centre halves again. So Look, it is just an absolute whitewash of diabolical from Spurs, top to bottom. The board need to go. Lange needs to go. Vinay needs to go. The players need to go. I am at the stage now where I think it's nearly best if we got relegated so that it could be a clean sweep. Kind of like Noah and the flood. Let the flood come in, wash away all of what needs to be cleansed, and we go again. We start again. Now, do I think that'll happen? No, but I think it needs that we need a clear out. We need a clear out from top to bottom. And I actually think, funnily enough, I think this all started from Levy's exit. Now you can have your own opinions on what you think of Daniel Levy and how he ran the club, but him leaving, I think, was the catalyst for this. It was the spark that ignited all of this, all of this shitstorm that we are now having to survive and get through. Because let's not kid ourselves, we're in a relegation battle. If we can't get anything, Fulham like took it to Sunderland yesterday, 1-3-1. If we can't get a result against Fulham, squeaky bum time. I would say it is really, really squeaky bum time. But yeah, I'm trying to think now. Is there anything else that I had to say? My notes. No, my head's gone from Spurs. That it's just gone. Usually it's there, usually, but after the day that's in it, and even from any channels that I've watched and stuff, like there is a real sense of worry from Spurs fans that we could go down, and if we do, I can't. I don't know what the scenes are going to be like. Will that actually be the catalyst for protesting? Who knows? If we're in the championship and season ticket prices don't go down, will that be the catalyst for protesting, for change, for head honchos at the top, your likes of Vinay, your likes of Lange, the Enoch and the Lewis family, will they sell up? I probably doubt it. The only thing that could go in our way for being relegated is if we bounce back up. But even if we get relegated, that whole team that we had out yesterday, the majority of them are gone. We'll be left in the championship with the likes of Kingsky and go. Even Kingsky might leave. We'd have Brandon Austin in net. We'd have, Bergvall, he'll get gone. So you'd have Gray, maybe Sarr. You'd have who else? You'd have like Mikey Moore, Alfie Devine, Will Lancashire up top. Byfield will get probably a run. Alfie Dorrington will come back probably with Vuskovic, but Vuskovic won't want to stay with us. Souza will come in at left back. Right back, I don't even know who Spurs have at a right back, even in the under 23s or 21s. Spence will probably stay, I would say. But if we're relying on those fellas, the fellas who are second and third choice, some of them can't even get in to their own championship side that they're on loan to. They can't even get into that team. And we're going to be wanting to them, we're going to have to be then bringing them into our team. It's just a mess. It is honestly just a mess. I don't know where we go from here as a fan base, as a club, as a whole institute. I have no idea what we do going forward. But we need to do something, and we need to do something fast. And hopefully that starts against Fulham now this weekend. Will it though? I don't think so. I can't see us getting anything from that game. But I will stop the video there because I think I need a cuppa after all that. I need my cuppa after that to try and digest it all. So if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below, the monkey thumb. Tap the rattle. Please give a thumbs up down below. Please like the video, as I said. Comment your thoughts, what you think of Spurs, what you think of the absolute mess that is Tottenham. And yeah, it's been a really, really, it's like the weather outside now. It is just a dull, dull day to be a Spurs fan. But let's hope the future is brighter than what we are currently seeing. But yeah, over to you players and over to you tutor to pull your fingers up, get your or roll up your sleeves, tighten them boots, because we are in the squeaky bum time now, and we need leaders to step up, and we need fighters because we are no make no mistake about it, we're in a battle, and it's not just any battle. This is a war now that we have. We have 11 cup finals left. Let's see if we can win any of them. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you liked the video, and I will speak to you all soon.